What's going on, everybody? My name is Stevie, this is Lucky Crit. Welcome back to our Pokemon Go series. Today, we finally have the Christmas event announcement here, and we're going to dive right in and take a look at that. So, let's see what we have. Trainers, as the year draws to a close, we want to give you a great way to celebrate the end of the year with Pokemon Go. For the next couple of weeks, you'll have even more reason to explore the world with your friends and family while you enjoy our year-end event. Don't miss out on an increased chance to hatch a Togepi and other Pokemon starting the morning of December 25th, 2016, and through the afternoon of January 3rd, 2017, Pacific Standard Time. Pokestops will award one single-use incubator each day after your first Photodisc spin. So after your first Pokestop spin of the day. As you visit Pokestops during this time period, there will be a greater chance of finding eggs that hatch Togepi, Pichu, and several other recently found Pokemon, originally discovered in the Johto region. So, all of the baby Pokemon that we just got added into the game earlier on in the month. Special Pikachu wearing festive hats will also be staying around a bit longer. You are more likely to find these limited edition Pikachu during the time period of this celebration. Now, I don't know if that means during this week it's going to be, that continued increased chance of finding them, or if maybe they'll stick around a little bit further into January than they originally thought about removing them, or is it going to be a permanent thing? I kind of doubt that, but that remains to be seen. In addition, from the afternoon of December 30th, 2016, through the afternoon of January 8th, 2017, the first partner Pokemon and their evolutions originally discovered in the Kanto region are more likely to be encountered. This means a greater chance to catch Bulbsaur, Ivysaur, Venusaur, as well as Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard, Squirtle, Wartortle, and Blastoise. As a way to increase your chance to encounter one of these Pokemon, lure modules will also last for 60 minutes instead of 30 minutes. So this is a pretty big event. This has multiple pieces to it. So first off, right off the bat, starting from Christmas through January 3rd, Pokestops will begin to award a single-use incubator every single day. So you want to make sure that throughout this good week and a half, I want to say, from December 25th to January 3rd, you want to be spinning Pokestops every single day and getting those free incubators, because who knows when we'll see this kind of event or gift from Niantic ever again. You might want to save them for 5-kilometer eggs and up. I generally don't like to waste incubators on 2-kilometer eggs. They're just too quick, too easy to hatch with those incubators, and it costs too much for the incubators to waste on such a small kilometer egg. You might as well use your infinite incubator on those. So starting December 25th and going to January 3rd as well, any eggs that you get from Pokestops will also have a higher chance of hatching into these baby Pokemon that we just got earlier this month. And if you want to check out the video on the baby Pokemon, you can check out up here. What you do need to keep in mind, though, is that if you already have a full batch of eggs, you're going to have to get rid of those before you can get new eggs. And obviously, the higher chance of getting these new baby Pokemon is going to come from the fresh eggs that you get during this time period between December 25th and January 3rd. So be sure to clear out your inventory of eggs. Like I said, try to get rid of the 2 kilometers with your infinite incubator, and also make sure to get rid of any 5 kilometers that might be cluttering your inventory. For some reason, 5 kilometers seem like the most common eggs right now, at least for me and a couple other people that I know. So try to get rid of those and try to clean up some space, because this event is going to be awesome and we want to hatch the new Pokemon. If you need a refresher as to what eggs the new baby Pokemon are in, I'll put it on screen right now. Essentially, in 2 kilometers, you have Cleffa and Igglybuff. In 5 kilometers, you have Togepi and Pichu. And in the 10 kilometers, we have the new trio, Magby, Elekid, and Smoochum. So it looks like they will be extending the deadline for the Santa Pikachus. Originally, it was going to be December 29th, but it looks like now it's going to last through at least January 3rd, maybe even longer. But still, make sure that you get yours, and try to get one with good IVs too, so you can have it as an actual good trophy in your collection for later on. Also, for the second half of the event, from the afternoon of December 30th through January 8th, basically you'll be able to find the starter Pokemon and their family lines a lot easier out in the wild. Some people are speculating that it might be like the Halloween event where we saw an increased spawn of spooky Pokemon, basically Ghastly, Haunter, Gengar, and some other ones like Meowth and Cubone. If we do see these starter Pokemon as commonly as we did for the spooky Pokemon for the Halloween event, that would be amazing. I mean, half the spawns basically were converted into those Pokemon. So you're probably going to be seeing like a starter Pokemon bonanza going on throughout that week. So be sure to stock up on candies then if you don't already have all of those evolutions. Personally, I'm only missing Charmeleon, but I have the candies for it. Right now, the game for me is just waiting for that Wonder or 80 to 90% essentially Charmander that I can evolve all the way up to a Charizard for an actually good Charizard. The only Charizard I have I actually got from the Stonington Burrow episode. If you want to check that out, you can check that out up here. But yeah, basically I'm just waiting for that. There's a lot of Pokemon that I can actually evolve right now and fill out my Pokedex even further. Like Muck, Machamp. Who else am I waiting on? Definitely Charmeleon. A couple in there like that, but I am waiting for good versions of those Pokemon before I just blow all my candies into bad IV Pokemon. I'd rather have good ones that I invest in. So definitely be sure to check out these events during this week. Remember, from Christmas on, you're going to be able to get baby Pokemon a lot easier from brand new eggs from Pokestops, and make sure that you're spinning every single day for those free incubators that'll allow you to hatch eggs a lot faster anyway. They've also released the Apple Watch version of Pokemon Go, so if you do happen to own an Apple Watch, you can now play using that. You won't be able to catch Pokemon like with the Pokemon Go Plus, so it's not essentially a replacement for the Pokemon Go Plus, but it will help you to track your steps and hatch eggs and kind of show you what's nearby, which is kind of cool. So there are some bonuses to using that as well. That's going to wrap up the news segment for this episode, but I do want to do a couple evolutions here that I've been saving up. I actually managed to find some really good IV Pokemon lately that I'm hoping will evolve into the proper movesets, but we'll have to find out. So let's see. So just tonight, actually, I caught this male Nidoran here, 93% perfect. I've been waiting for another one of these guys every single time I evolve a Nidoking. As you've seen in probably some of the past episodes, if you check them out, every single time it has the wrong moveset. So tonight we're going to get the right moveset, right? Let's do it. CP is really low, but I'm not too concerned about that. I mean, if he's worth powering him up, I would actually do that. I would like a really good Nidoking semi near the top of my list, even though they did get nerfed somewhat recently, you know, with the CP rebalancing. And if you are kind of confused about your Pokemon list, if you haven't played in a while and you're wondering why a lot of Pokemon are switched up or different or stronger now, definitely be sure to check out the CP rebalance episode where we talked about that update that came out. I think it's been about a month now. So we're going to go, what we want is Poison Jab, Earthquake. I will accept Poison Jab, Stone Edge as a secondary. What's going on here? It's freaking out. Poison Jab, Stone Edge. Or Poison Jab, Earthquake. Preferably Earthquake. Let's go. Can we do it? Come on. Poison Jab, Earthquake. Nice! I waited a long time for this guy. He'll be getting the power up once I have a little bit more candy. I'm not going to blow it all on him right now. Very nice. Every single Nidoking before this point has always had Fury Cutter or some other bad combination, so I'm really, really happy about that. I've actually never gotten a Poison Jab Earthquake Nidoking before, not even from one in the wild with bad IVs. That's great. Okay, that's a great start. I've also got this Clefairy here, 93% perfect, decent CP. Really, really hoping for Pound Moonblast. As a consolation prize, I would accept the best defensive moveset, which I think is, what, Zen Headbutt, Dazzling Gleam? But I would really, really, really like Pound Moonblast, if we can do that, please. Come on. Pound Psychic, I guess you can't win them all. We also have a 91% Drowsy here with some pretty good CP going on. Hypno is not the best Pokemon, but it would be really nice to have a 90+% IV one with the proper moveset, which I believe is, what is it, Zen Headbutt Psychic is the best offensive moveset. So I would really, really appreciate that. Zen Headbutt Psyshock. Not quite right. Anyway, this particular Eevee here I think I'm going to save for the rest of the Generation 2 release once we get Espeon and Umbreon. I would really like to have one of those with such a high IV. I don't think I've ever had this high of an IV for an Eevee before, which is pretty nice. But if you're interested in seeing what I think they're going to do for the Espeon and Umbreon evolutions and how that's going to work, definitely check out the video up here. Is that going to call it? I do have this Sandshrew here that's pretty good, but I don't quite have the candies yet for him. You might have noticed the massive horde of Santa Pikachus in here. I'm still looking for that 80+% one that I can call it quits on. And just for kicks, I'm going to evolve this Jigglypuff. It is a wonder. It's not 90%, which I kind of like to have instead of 80%. But it's been so hard for me to find a wonder Jigglypuff that I'm just going to evolve this one and see what happens. What is it? I think Pound Hyper Beam is the moveset we want. Feint Attack, Play Rough. That might be the best defensive. I could be completely wrong. Let's look that up. No, but it's actually Feint Attack, Dazzling Gleam. Feint Attack, Play Rough has about 90% of the defensive capability, so not that great. It's not awful, but it's not the best. Thankfully, though, that wasn't like a 90+% Pokemon right there. I think, actually the sad part is, yeah, I think I have a Wigglytuff in here that's actually really, really good, but it's really tiny. Or did I get rid of it? This one's okay, 82 to 87%. That's the IV range, and it does have Pound Hyper Beam, but it's also CP 81. So I'm definitely still on the hunt for a better Wigglytuff, for sure. And I did get somebody in the comments a little while ago asking me to show off my Pokédex, and it has been a little while since I've actually displayed my Pokédex and where I am in terms of the progress. Like I said, I am missing Charmeleon. I could get that right now. It's very easy. I just am waiting for a good Charmander to evolve into Charmeleon to be worth that candy. Maybe it doesn't matter at this point if the starters are going to be commonplace pretty soon, but we'll see what happens with that. Still waiting on the Machoke and the Machamp. Have plenty of candies. I'm just waiting for an 80+% Machop, preferably 90+%, in order to evolve it into that. So 83 is far-fetched, I believe, and I do have the candies for Muck, but like I said, with the other ones, I'm waiting for a better Grimer. Pretty hard to find Grimers to begin with, so 115 I think is Kangaskhan. Then we got Mr. Mime in here. And then for Amistar and Kabutops, just have nowhere near the right amount of candies for these guys yet. There are still some nests around. I think with just about every nest shuffle, there tends to be a nest of these guys somewhere, but it's not the type of nest that I've been going out to, so I just still don't have enough candies for them. And as for a Dragonair, I do have the candies for that as well, but I'm saving it for potentially a better Dratini to come along, so we'll see that. And then, of course, obviously now, there's the baby Pokemon that I have not hatched yet that I could potentially get to fill out that Pokédex even more. Anyway, that's going to wrap up today's episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to slash that thumbs up down below if you did appreciate this news. And be sure to let me know how you feel about this Christmas event, if you're excited for it, and what you're planning to do with it. And also, be sure to follow us on Twitter if you want some of the latest updates. Sometimes these videos take a little bit to edit and come out, so by the time it does come out, the news has already been revealed like a little while ago, at least hours, if not, you know, the day before. So if you do want the fastest updates possible, be sure to follow us on Twitter, and you'll also get notified whenever we release a video on there or post anything else. So be sure to check that out. If you haven't subscribed yet to Lucky Crypt, please consider getting subscribed today for videos straight to your homepage, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.